Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good morning. I'm Dr. Sabah Bau from the Physics Section Pusat Pengajian Pendidikan Jarak Jauh University Sains Malaysia. It is course JIF 318 Quantum Mechanics. You are in Chapter 2 Complex Numbers and Linear Operators. This segment is Unit 2.5 on Eigenfunction and Eigenvalues. Eigen is basically a German word, which meaning the numbers or specific terms. Hopefully after this lesson, you will be able to describe the eigenvalue and eigenfunction of a derivative operator. Derivative operator means that an operator which is defined as a differential. Hopefully you should be able to identify the eigenfunction of an operator. Suppose that for a particular linear operator L, okay, L with the head there, we can find a function f which has a property operator L in the square bracket f equal to Cf. Okay, this is the operator of f of a function f equal to Cf, where C can be a real or complex number. So C can be a real or complex number. F is an eigenfunction of operator L. So F, you can see F as a function of X on both sides of the equation. So F is the eigenfunction. C is the eigenvalue. Remember that C can be a real number or a complex number, but it is a number. That's why it is called the eigenvalues. So if you come across an equation like this, then you can define C as eigenvalue, F as eigenfunction. Okay? You have an operator here, derivative operator. That means it might be d per dl or d per dx, or function x equal to, then if you get a number here, which can be real or complex number, multiplied by the function, then f, we call it an eigenfunction, and c is the eigenvalue. So if g is an eigenfunction of the derivative operator, now our function is g, not f. Okay. Basically, it's interchangeable. You can have any letters representing an eigenfunction. The derivative operator d, okay, g is an eigenfunction or derivative. It must satisfy this relationship. Okay. Actually, this relationship is just like the previous one. Okay. Operator gx, a function of g in terms of x. So the operator here, the derivative operator should be d per dx. Okay, d per dx. Then you differentiate g. That means dg per dx. So we must get the solution in this form. C gx. That means c is a number. It can be real or complex number multiplied by the function gx. So c is the eigenvalue, g is the eigenfunction. The general solution is g equal to a exponent cx, where a is an arbitrary constant, c is the eigenvalue. Any complex number can be an equivalent value, an eigenvalue of derivative operator d. any complex number. So you can see that the solution shows a polar complex number. That means in exponent. Remember that exponent theta equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So it is in polar form. Okay, how can we get this exponent? Remember that if you look up here, it is dg. If you arrange, so you have dg per g, then equal to c dx. So this is the partial differentiation. dg per dg, if you integrate it, it becomes log or natural logarithm g. On the right side, you have cx. So you have ln g, then cx. When you integrate delta x, you get x actually plus c if there is no limit. Okay, when natural logarithm, you bring from the left, you bring it to the right. So what you have is an exponent, cx plus c, and a is an arbitrary constant since this is just a relationship showing that g is directly proportional to the exponent of cx, and you have c here, and if you rearrange, basically you have e cx e or exponent c. So this is the constant a. Okay, you rearrange, you have a exponent cx to this one. Okay, sorry, my handwriting is because it is quite difficult to control my mouse here. So actually it is a what you call it, partial differentiation. You can see that g is on one side and x on one side. Then when you integrate dg per g, basically you get ln g or natural logarithm g equal to cx plus c if the integration is not or general integration, not limited to certain values. And you rearrange, finally you get this solution. Okay, this means, what does this mean? This means that from a derivative operator given, you can get the solution, the general solution for the function, okay, in the form of exponent, okay, which is a type of polar complex number. Most functions are not eigenfunction. Remember that only function which satisfy this condition is what we call as a derivative function, a derivative operator, and this function is what we call as eigenfunction. If it does not fulfill these criteria, so the function cannot be called an eigenfunction. So that's why here most functions are not eigenfunctions of an operator. In the case of the derivative operators, this slide shows a few examples. Okay, since the variable is x, so operator d here, you can replace it with d per dx. Okay, so the derivative operator capital D can be replaced with d per dx. And let's say we look at the function sine x. So if you differentiate sine x, basically what you get is cos x. So it is not c sine x. Remember that as a condition for an eigenfunction, the function should be in the square bracket on the left, and it should be on the right. If here is sine, this one should be sine with a number there, a real number or a complex number. But when you do this carry out this differentiation process for sin x, what you got is cos x, which is not c sin x. So sin x here cannot be called eigenfunction, or cos x here cannot be called the eigenfunction. Another example, if you have a derivative operator for x squared, when you differentiate dx squared per dx, what you get, or you differentiate x squared, basically what you get is 2x. It's not cx squared. Remember that for an eigenfunction, the function on the left hand side should be equal or the same as the function on the right hand side. But when you do the operator process for x squared here, what you get is 2x. The same thing with ln x, you differentiate it, you get 1 over x, not c ln x. So most functions are not eigenfunction. Okay, only a function which obeys the operator condition, you can say that the function on the left should be the same as the function on the right, except on the right you multiply it with a number. So if the expression does not follow this condition, so the function inside that expression is not an eigen function. So that differentiate between an eigenfunction and a normal function. So an eigenfunction is very special sort of function in quantum mechanics, of course. As a conclusion, most functions are not eigenfunctions of an operator. An eigenfunction should obey the following property. That means the derivative operator for a function equal to a number. The number can be a real number or complex number multiplied by the function itself. Thank you very much for your attention.